Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in for another edition of Intuitive Angling down here in Kissimmee, Florida right now. Actually sitting at the Walmart store. Got a Walmart Bridgeford promotion that got to do, and then I'm going to get everything rolling and start practice down here. We can practice until noon on Wednesday, and then the tournament starts Thursday, so getting ready for that. It's sort of cold down here, man. It's been frost all over the boat when I took the tarp off this morning. But hey, anyway, today's video I want to talk about, guys, is really something that's pretty disturbing to me. I have been, as far as what's going on in the state of Florida, I've been coming down to Florida since 1984, almost every year for tournaments. I fished my first tournament down here in 1984, and I fished down here pretty much every year since then. So I'm going to guess I've probably fished over 40 tournaments in the state of Florida throughout my career, spent a lot of time down here. And yesterday when we were coming down, I was driving through just north of Orlando there. And guys, I was absolutely shocked and disgusted and deeply disturbed by just what is going on with the overdevelopment down here. And what I want to talk about a little bit is how Florida's changing, and not for the better. One of the things, and I'll get into that here in a second, but preface this, is one of the things that attracts people to an area, whether it be like the Missouri Ozarks where I'm from or Florida, is the unique aesthetic aspect of where you're at. And people have always loved to come to Florida because you got beautiful weather, you had these giant live oak trees, you had these big giant miles and miles of Florida orange groves, and just the natural beauty of Florida in its pure state is unlike any other state in the country. It's really special. The problem is with Florida is it's a very fragile ecosystem down here. And yesterday when I was driving down, I was shocked at the amount of development that has occurred down here just in 2 years. The last time I was down here was the Bassmaster Open 2 years ago down here at Lake Toho. Guys, when I was driving down here yesterday, there were literally miles and miles and miles of areas that 2 years ago were giant big live oak trees, rolling Florida native habitat, orange groves, gone, completely gone, bulldozed down, making room for 55 and over retirement communities. It's going on freaking everywhere down here. And I just got this feeling in the pit of my stomach. It's like, this is not sustainable. And I started thinking to myself, okay, you look at this level of developments going down here. Not only that, but everywhere you see down here, there's new homes being built everywhere. It's like, what is the state of Florida going to look like 100 years from now? It's like, if this rate of development continues, everything that's special about Florida is going to be gone. And you dudes that live down here in Florida, you know what I'm talking about. I guarantee you know what I'm talking about. It's not only the overdevelopment and the overpopulation that is harming Florida right now, but it's this war on the vegetation down here also in the lakes. There's something about, I don't know who is responsible for it or what's going on, if somebody's making money off it, but all of the toxic chemicals that are being sprayed on the water down here to try to control the vegetation is absolutely disgusting. It's destroying the water quality. Look what has happened to Lake Okeechobee. Lake Okeechobee is a shadow of its former self. You look at that lake 50 years ago and you look at it now, and it's heartbreaking. I mean, the amount of what agricultural runoff and spraying has done to that lake, it's devastated 80% of the water that used to be productive down there. Goes on everywhere down here. I mean, there's so many options for mechanical harvesting that can be used to, harvest that vegetation and use it for cow feed and be completely environmentally friendly. But no, they freaking spray toxic chemicals all over the water down here. So on top of that, you have global climate change affecting the coastal areas. The amount of erosion that's occurring on the coastal areas is alarming, to say the least. If you guys have followed that, that's only going to get worse over the next 100 years as the sea levels even gradually rise a little bit. You're going to see a huge amount of displacement in the shoreline. People that live along the shoreline having to move inland. And here, the thing about it is, what do you do about this? The only thing that you can do about this is it has to be addressed at the state and local political level in Florida. Not only the state and local politics, but within like the Chamber of Commerce's, the zoning and planning commissions. These people that are running the state and local politics that are allowing this to go on, or the zoning commissions, they're either ignorant, apathetic, or greedy. It's one of the three, because everything that's going down on here in the state of Florida is extremely short-sighted. If you look at the sustainability factor of what's going on, and you multiply the amount of development that's occurring times 50, 75 years from now, what does it look like? Is Florida is a very, very environmental, it has a very, very fragile ecosystem down here. It can only sustain so much human activity. I mean, it simply can only sustain so much. But when you get to that point where the state and its resources are overwhelmed, what are you going to have? You know, these people that are building these gigantic mega communities for 55 and retirement communities, are they only going to be happy when every single natural resource has been used up or destroyed to make profit? Because that's all it is. I mean, these dudes that are bulldozing down these 200-year-old live oak trees and ripping out these, you know, orange groves down here, they don't care anything about how much money they're going to make on their development community. And it's subsidized, and it's allowed to go on by entities that control that. So I see this all over the country, guys. I mean, I see it back in the Ozarks. I've talked about the hillsides getting ripped off, the Ozark Mountains down there that used to be pristine. I see it all over the country. And I mean, it's so frustrating at the time to see this going on, and there's not much that you can do about it, or the people that are in charge of being able to do something about it are just oblivious. I don't know if they're oblivious or they just see some type of a short-term profit. I mean, I've got my theories on it, but regardless, it's not a good deal. If you guys out there like me, if you love the natural world, if you love to hunt and fish, if you see more value in driving down the road and seeing a grove of 200-year-old trees versus a $150,000, you know, stacked up like cordwood retirement community, then you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to the awareness. Like I said, the only thing that can be done by that is through legislation. You know, public pressure can do so much, but when you talk about, you know, putting people in positions of power, saying that, you know, are you going to stand up and protect natural, you know, the way that the natural world in Florida, you know, what initially brought people in Florida, or are you going to continue ripping out all the natural habitat, put these, you know, retirement communities in? You know, you got to decide who you want in charge to pull the levers there. That's the only way things are going to change. But I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. I was really upset. I was really, you know, disheartened, disappointed about, you know, what I saw yesterday as far as the environmental degradation going on down here in Florida, and just wanted to not. I'm not doing this to complain about it as, like, you know, as a victim, but to bring awareness to it so we can make some changes. So 100 years from now, our grandchildren can come to Florida and see the type of Florida that everybody used to love down here 50 years ago. And like I said, if you guys have never been to Florida, you can't really understand fully what I'm talking about. You dudes that have grown up down here in Florida and hunting fish down here your whole life, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there today. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'm going to get to work here, and I'll see y'all later.